Hello, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving week, and welcome to the Gridiron Glory here with Will and Tad, where we cover all 32 NFL teams. Today, we are looking at a Week 12 matchup between the Detroit Lions and Indianapolis Colts. The Lions winning in Indianapolis 24-6 to maintain the best record in the NFC and one of the best records in the entire NFL. Some might say they're the best team in the NFL. So a very strong team, very strong performance. Jared Goff, 26 of 36, 269 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. So a fairly routine game for Jared Goff, sort of what we've been used to. A big game for Jahmyr Gibbs out of the backfield, 21 carries for 90 yards and 2 touchdowns. So we're seeing him get used a bit more the past few weeks, it feels like. So, yeah, the 21 yards, the 21 carries he had was a season high. And yeah, he gets touchdowns. He has 10 touchdown rushers, which is tied for fourth in the league. He has fourth most yards. So a very good season for the Detroit running back there. And also David Montgomery had a touchdown, 37 yards on just 8 carries. Generally, you see more carries out of David Montgomery. So a very interesting dynamic there. What's your take on the Detroit backfield after hearing all this?
I mean, the Detroit backfield, the best in the NFL. They're very well rounded. They're very strong. I mean, Jameson Williams. I mean, a quiet game this game, but did have 64 yards receiving, which just goes to show you that it's very weaponized. That a very weaponized backfield.
Yeah, yeah,
An arsenal of weapons in their backfield, if you will.
certainly. I mean, when you got Gibbs with 10 touchdowns, tied for fourth in the league, Montgomery with 11 touchdowns, second in the league. I mean, just an assortment of weapons. And then, yeah, they used their wide receiver, Jameson Williams, as a bit of a running threat sometimes as well. So you got that. You got Amon-Ra, who's always an option, 6 receptions for 62 yards. So just
The
a whole
Colts
lot of
did
weapons.
the Colts did fairly compete in this game, especially more in the first half. But then the
Yeah.
Detroit Lions just once again, once Jahmyr Gibbs even got that touchdown late, I mean, they just showed who they really were. The Colts just Anthony Richardson just really couldn't get anything going. 11 to 28, 172 yards. Just not a lot going for Anthony Richardson this game.
Yeah, definitely a struggle for the Colts offense. They really couldn't get anything going. They couldn't run the ball well. Anthony Richardson had some nice moments in the run game, but other than that, they couldn't run the ball. They couldn't get things going in the passing game. I mean, Michael Pittman had a solid game, 6 catches for 96 yards, but outside of him, nobody had more than 39 yards receiving. I mean, just a very difficult game for the Colts offense to really get anything on track. I mean, I feel like their defense tried. At least early on, their defense did what they could to keep them in the game. I mean, you got guys like Nick Cross with his 14 tackles, 2 for loss. You got Zaire Franklin, 13 tackles, 8 solo tackles, 1 sack. And then, I mean, you look at DeForest Buckner, the veteran there, the seasoned veteran with his 2 quarterback hits, 1 sack. So, I mean, they're trying out there, but they just couldn't keep pace with a high-powered offense like
I just
this.
feel like this speaks more to Detroit than it does Indianapolis per se.
For
I mean,
sure.
it's not like Indianapolis didn't show up. This just
No.
once again just there's a very reason why I personally believe that the Detroit Lions are the current best team in the National Football League.
Yeah, I mean they're certainly up there, and they're showing why they deserve a lot of respect and a lot of people thinking that they can do what they can do. Just very impressive there by the
And I
Lions.
mean, they want to hoist that Lombardi at the end of the season.
That's really what it comes down to. Yeah, I mean they want to take that next step. They want to show they can also do what they're doing in the playoffs. That's the next step.
Lions win 24-6, and obviously we know for the Detroit Lions their Thanksgiving history. Tad, I do want to speak on that for a moment. Now, this is a team that has had, obviously the Thanksgiving history and everything, and that's what we said has probably been the best thing for their franchise. We even kind of said it last season, but now, Tad, here they were a half away from the Super Bowl. You got to figure this is probably the best team in their franchise's history to put on the Thanksgiving showcase now. With everything this franchise has triumphed through with their fans, it should be a really fun day there at Ford Field against their division rival, the Chicago Bears.
For basically their entire franchise's history before this stretch, they've had a very difficult time even competing, and they've always been the underdogs, and they always do what they can to try to at least keep it respectable on the Thanksgiving stage. And they've had some quality showing, some big wins, but they've also had some big letdowns. And now here they are, like you said, this is arguably the best team they've ever had. And I don't really think there's much of an argument. I think it's just clear cut that this is the best team they've ever had. And I would expect them to continue to show out in front of their fans on Thanksgiving Day.
Absolutely. This is like a tradition for the citizens of Detroit, their fans. Going to that Thanksgiving game is, a big deal for a lot of Lions fans. So, yeah, they'll have a fun time there at Ford Field, I'd imagine. And then for the Colts, they go on to take on the New England Patriots in Foxborough, Massachusetts. I didn't really have any other final thoughts or takes on this game, sir.
I'm good.
Be sure to like, subscribe, and follow all season long. This is the Gridiron Glory.
Thanks for